Okay, so if you're one of the ones who has the grid in your website, I want to go over kind of this one, John Lawson. We're usually making flyers to fit Facebook covers now, not the vertical ones. If you do want to make the vertical ones, consult with us to get these structures, the grid, arranged to that size. But for once you have it that size, the functions that I'm going to show you from here on out is the same. So this is typically just showing flyers. It's not linking to anything. So if I click on it, nothing happens. We can drag it, and you can kind of click these and see, different. There's only 3 up here. So what this is if we go into the back end, we're going to hit edit page wherever that is at, the grid, and we are going to go to the back end, and we're going to find it, and it's always going to be right here. It's going to say the grid. So when we edit it, all you're going to see here is just a little simple window that tells you which one to use. So there's a flyers grid, and then there's another one called new grid. So we're using the flyers grid. So just keep it the same. Alright, so where this is calling upon is over here where you see the grid in your left hand menu section. So you're going to hit on that and hit the grid, and you're going to go to the one that is yours, which is the flyers grid. So we're going to hit edit. Now, don't let any of this confuse you. Grid IDs, the shortcode, these are the actual shortcodes if you want to put in the grid. If you don't have my framework. So you're going to go over to source. You can pull in Instagram, YouTube video. We'll talk about that later. There's a full tutorial coming soon on the grid. We also have a couple other new plugins that we're using now that we're phasing into as well, and those are going to have tutorials to them. So what we're pulling in is we're loading 10 items into the grid. You can change that number if you want, and we're loading from the media library. So you can select posts, pages, portfolios, things like that. But right now we're just media library is taking you straight to the picture. That's all we want to. If you have ticket information and you want to make its own page, and talk about the party and things like that, say it's some type of big event, then maybe you want a page section, so you're going to pull probably from a post. So anyway, we'll talk about that later as well. Media library, we're going to keep that, and basically you just want to X out the ones you don't want, and you want to add images of the ones you do. You can actually move these around and rearrange them by dragging and dropping. So I'm going to X out on this, I'm going to keep that one, and I'm going to add images. So I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to add this one, and this one, and this one. I'm going to add actually this one. So I'm going to add this one, and this one. So let's insert in the gallery. So now we have 4. Let's move this here. Let's move that there. And let's hit save. Now, you can preview this by hitting the preview button, and this is what you're going to see. So that'll let you preview how that looks. So now that we hit save, and we're good. Now these other components I'll go over in more of a grid. You don't have to worry about any of these. You don't have to worry about nothing like this. Keep all these settings the way they are. Once we go into a deeper tutorial on the grid, you'll probably understand the rest of it. But for just changing up flyers and images and things like that when we were using the grid, this is basically what you do. And that's it. So again, all you want to do is be in the source and changing these images in this section right here. Simple as that.